Hey there, welcome back to Ball Moonlight Vlogs, or hello if you're new. My name is Raven, and today I'm gonna be reviewing something that I bought for crafting. I was hoping that this would make my crafting journey a little bit easier. I've had a lot of orders for ear warmers, and they're basically just a twisted tube, so I wanted a knitting machine that specifically just knit a tube. And I purchased this off of Amazon because there's sort of this thing where everyone is at home buying a lot of craft supplies because everyone's getting new hobbies right now, which is really cool, and it is affecting like the ability to be able to find things. So I wanted to basically just share what I got and what I wish I had gotten instead, and my thoughts on the whole shebang. Didn't even look at my notes before I started filming. Did I say I was going to? Yes. I go through all this effort to prepare for you guys, and I write everything out on nice bulleted notes, and then I just forget to look at it. So the item that we're reviewing today is this little guy. He's really cute. I haven't named him. Probably not going to. I don't really like him very much. This is a vertical knitting machine. This is one of the ones that has a face on it, which you're either gonna love or you're gonna hate. I personally liked that it had a face. It was one of the selling points for me. And I wanted to like talk about what's good about it and what I don't like about it, hopefully to help you guys make a better purchase if you were in the market for a knitting machine. And we're just gonna go from there. So this is a vertical knitting machine. There's probably another name for it. I will put the link to this down below just in case you find it to be appealing for whatever your purpose is. Oh, its name is Penguino, I think? I don't remember. Let's talk about the features of this machine first. So this operates with a cranking surface. It has a row counter, which I do actually find pretty nifty. It has a yarn guide, which helps with your gauge, and has 3 options for different tensions, which is pretty great. And those are also the only 2 pros that I wrote on the list. Let's talk about why I don't like it, since that's pretty much all I have to give you guys. Okay, so my first pet peeve with this machine is that it has nothing to stabilize the bottom other than these little tabs. It's not actually holding your machine down. There's no suction cup, there's no clamp. The only thing that will hold the machine down is your arm. So it's been a fun situation where I just sit like this holding the machine. It does have a grip at least, but like it gets very tedious and very obnoxious real fast to be holding this. The second thing that I don't like about this that does coincide with the first one is that when you're using it, you have to go really fast, or like the machine just starts splitting stitches. It does that anyways. You have to go really fast or you just end up with lots of drop stitches. Maybe that wouldn't be as bad if you weren't having to hold the machine down. Holding the machine down and having to go really fast, not relaxing. Let me just leave it at that. Oh, another feature that I do like is the starting needle. I know not all of the knitting machines out there have this, but some of the machines, the better ones, have a different colored needle to indicate the beginning of a row. Another huge con for me, but I found a workaround and will actually make a separate video on, is the yarn feed is closed. So the other machines that I've been looking at, the Centro and the Addy specifically, have a latch so that you can feed your yarn in and then you open it up, pop the yarn in, and it secures it. This, you can't do that. You have to feed the yarn in and secure it before you can even cast on. And that makes the process really obnoxious, frankly. I found a workaround, but the instructions that are given in the pamphlet that came with this, one, are not in English. Not the manufacturer's fault, but definitely makes it more difficult for me as a native English speaker to understand. And 2, the instructions just didn't work well for me. I actually found a video version of them, and it wasn't a method that worked well for me. I am going to be doing a video on how to cast on with this machine, or at least how I've been doing it, because I found a much easier workaround, but just overall I didn't like the machine, so wanted to make a separate video talking about that, which you're watching now. Those are all things that like can be worked around and adjusted to. At the end of the day, the reason why I don't like this machine is the product that comes out of the machine. You know, you spent money to have something knit a tube, and I will throw some pictures up on the screen that I took with my phone. I went through 2 skeins of yarn trying to figure out how to work with it. I think I have had this for about 2 weeks now, and all I wanted to do was just knit ear warmers, which was a really basic project. And these were orders, so I had pretty high standards of what I was willing to send out. And I didn't send anything that was made with this because I wasn't comfortable with it. The machine does this weird thing where it's hooks into the fabric and pulls it like through the yarn. So as I was frogging parts of the project, because I didn't want to waste the yarn, was tearing the yarn and pulling it through the yarn itself, which I hope these pictures are helping, because it was really frustrating. And like, you do have to clip that. I couldn't frog it, and I worry about like the project lasting. So that is like my main issue with it, is like no matter how I worked with the machine, I couldn't get it to knit well. It was really frustrating. And I don't have a lot of knitting machine experience. I knit by hand, I knit by loom, and I love both of those very much. I just wanted something easier for plain tubes, and this wasn't it for me. Now, that being said, these machines are being made by a lot of different producers, and it could just be inconsistent manufacturing. Maybe I'm using it wrong, but I feel like I have enough crafting general experience to decide whether or not something works for me. There's also not a lot of information available about like this specific type of machine where it stands upright. So it just, I don't know, I really wasn't happy with the end product. I could have worked around the other inconveniences, but the end product not being great just ruined it for me. And I wanted to make a video because I don't want people to feel discouraged and think that the problem is them. I feel like there are 3 or 4 categories of people who are looking for knitting machines right now. One is kids getting into a hobby, or even just like any person who's getting into a hobby and wants something easy, wants something workable, and then they get this and it's cute and it's lightweight and it's really frustrating to work with, really frustrating to get started with, and then the end result doesn't feel good. And because it's ripping up the yarn and it's splitting and it's dropping stitches, pretty much no matter what I tried. If you know more about this machine and you would like to give me some pointers on how to use it better, I would love that. I would hate to have wasted money on something that is going to be decoration in my office. I would hate for someone to get into this thinking that it will be an easy hobby and a fun hobby, not enjoy the process, and then not enjoy the end result. I know that there are a lot nicer machines available. With everything going on right now, it's hard to get craft supplies. I was going to buy a nicer machine than this. They weren't available, which sucks. These are available, and I've noticed the prices of them are drastically increasing, and I would hate for someone to pay like $70 for this. I got this for, I want to say like 30 ballpark range, $30. I would hate for someone to pay like $70 on this and then think that's a really nice machine and then hate every aspect of it. And then I know that there are other people who are like me, who are maybe already into crafting or building a crafting business, and so they are looking for a very consistent end result. This would not do for me. This would not do for a business purchase. That was originally what it was supposed to be for. I want to say, at the end of the day, you get what you pay for. With all of these prices increasing, that is not true, and I would hate for someone to buy something like this thinking that it's a great machine and then be disappointed. So my end recommendations, if it's available and you're looking for a nicer machine, I would go with the Centro or the Addi. The Addi is pretty expensive. Right now the Centro is also expensive. So if that's not an option because pandemic, if that's not an option because of the pandemic or whatever your situation is, I would recommend getting a knitting loom. I have been using these since I was a weed hot, and I really love them. You can get them in different sizes. I recently discovered you can also get them in different gauges, which is just mind-blowing. I want to say that the loom sets that I've been looking at, because like now that I'm getting back into looming again, I'm looking at nicer sets, are about the same price as like what I paid for this knitting machine, but you get multiple size options. Now granted, this is not going to be as fast as this. This has a crank on it. This is doing all of the work for you. Well, not all of the work, but like this is speeding up the process. And everything is still individual. I have been finding personally that like even this loom, which has a 3/8 gauge on it, is still moving faster than just hand knitting. And because of like the way, probably because I've been doing it longer, I don't have to like look at what I'm doing. This is very much more relaxed and calm. So I can just sit with my loom, my hook, and just watch TV and enjoy working on a project and not feel frustrated and get a weird shoulder cramp because I'm just going as fast as I can. So that is my final thought on this. If you can't find a really good machine and you are worried about a lesser quality machine ruining the experience for you or ruining the end result, I would say get a loom set. There's some pretty good tutorials online, and I actually figured this out when I was 10 before I had like, I don't even think I knew what YouTube was. If it was it a thing? Ooh. I think this is a great option. Probably biased. I really like playing with it, and like ever since I got mad at this for existing and I dug this out to see if it was a better option, so in love with it. That being said, that is my personal opinion. I would love to hear if you have a different opinion. If this helped you, I would love to hear your comments down below. If you have this machine and it's working great for you, please tell me your secrets. I would love to love this. Just struggling so hard. I have watched hours of tutorials. Most of them are for Centros and like nicer machines, so I just don't know how transferable the knowledge is. If you have this machine already and you're looking for a better way to cast on, I will be uploading the video tomorrow, so please hit subscribe and hit notifications. It helps my channel and it's very fun. And also, I like talking about crafts on my channel anyways, so you might like it here. That is the end of the video. I'm probably stalling. I'm really bad at ending and starting videos, I'm realizing. Please hit subscribe. I will be doing one more video on this machine if you are looking for a way to cast on. And other than that, I hope you're having an awesome day today. I hope you're having a wonderful solstice. At least that's the day that I'm filming and uploading this. So happy solstice, happy holidays. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys tomorrow with more information on this little guy. I really wanted to like you.